Hello and good day to you. Today's video we'll be making a crocheted ruler lace gathered skirt for an adult, a female. To make our skirt we'll need a sewing machine. You can use a tapestry needle if you want, but I'll be using a sewing machine to join it up. We'll need measuring tape. Would need measuring tape to measure to take the measurement of the wearer. We need yarn. I'm using So Crafty yarn, Aldi So Crafty yarn, but I'll be using the Seashore. We'll be using Aldi So Crafty yarn, ombre yarn, cake yarns. I'll be using for that I'll be using the Seashore color. 3 of that. We need 3 of it. This is they are the same. This is called natural, so I'll just show you how this is called natural. And this is how the colors there. So because you're using sewing machine, we'll be needing sewing thread. Yes, not even because you're using sewing machine, you can use a tapestry needle to sew too. So we need sewing thread. We need sewing thread, and we need if you want to use buttons, if you want to use any fastening you want to, that's fine. I'll be using zip and sewing thread, and we also need sewing thread. So I'll need a zip or zipper, depending on how you prefer to call it. We need sewing pins. This is to pin the sides before we sew them, so that the edges don't move, so that we can seam them up properly. Start them moving. If you want to, you can use hand sewing needles or tapestry needles. I said that earlier. So if you don't want to use sewing machine, so you can. Okay, it comes out from here. So you can use hand sewing needles. And you need the sewing thread. That's if you want to fasten the zipper without using sewing machine. Okay, we need a crochet hook. Our crochet hook, we are using size 4 of the crochet hook, and we need a ruler. This time around, I'm not using a metal ruler. I saw something else that I can use, and it's a blind, the end part of a blind. So I just trimmed this. I just trimmed it. You can see the rope, and you can see this knob here. The end part of a blind. My blind got spoiled, so I was wondering what I can use this hard thing, but okay. Since I've not seen my plastic ruler, this makes it. This can do the job. And we also need our swatch. We also need our swatch. So to continue, we need our swatch. And for the swatch, so this is our swatch for the ruler lace, crochet ruler lace skirt. You can alter it the way you want to. If you want to make 2 rows of double crochet before you do the ruler lace and like the shell, the shell loop here, that's fine. You just need to alter it to suit yourself, to suit the design that you are making. So I'm using a plain yarn to demonstrate. I'll just put a previous demonstration in of creating a ruler lace. Then you can decide on how you want to alter the pattern to create your own design. Ruler lace is made up of multiples of five stitches plus 1. The 1 is the turning chain. Ruler lace effect is a looping lace effect created by making loops over a ruler and then securing the loops with double crochet or single crochet stitches made into the loops. So these are the loops made on the ruler, and these are the double crochet we're using securing those loops to make the design. Why the ruler lace is made up of 5 stitches, multiples of 5 stitches plus 1 is because 1 is a turning chain. But if you see it here, you'll see that we have, for this 4 lace effect, we have 5 loops here, 5, 5, 5, that's 20. So we are going to create the effect. We have 5 loops here, 5, 5, 5, that's 20. Then 1 is a turning chain. I'll have to do a little demonstration so that we can progress. From that we can now move on to our garment. So taking our yarn, I'm using a double knit yarn. No, I'm using Aran yarn, so crafty, and my crochet hook is 4.5. You can use any size of crochet hook you want and any width of ruler. You notice that we used a longer ruler when we were presenting what we're going to use for our knitwear. But because of this, just to make a little swatch, we're going to use a smaller ruler which has the same width with our normal ruler, but different lengths. So we need to cast on, because ruler lace is made up of 5 multiples of 5 stitches plus 1, we're going to cast on 21 stitches. So 21 chain, we'll make 21 chain. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have 21 chain now, and from the second chain into the second chain from the hook. So we'll do a double crochet into the second chain from the hook and a double crochet into every single chain, the chain spaces across. So a double crochet into each chain space across. To pull more yarn. Remember, you can use any yarn you have for the project. I want to count. So we have 20 double crochet here. It's time now the next step is for us to use our ruler. So here's our ruler and we'll start the next step. So turning the work, you don't need to do a turning chain now because we are just going to put loops. Just going to make the loop larger. I'll down this one so that I don't interfere with the work. Okay. So we've put the first loop. Oh, sorry. Let me do it properly again. Okay. First loop. Then into the next double crochet space, I'm going to pull a yarn and wear it on the loop. Oh, sorry, on the ruler. It's a loop. So you can see both back and front we have the loop is being worn on the ruler. So we continue the third one and so on. Remember, metal rulers are sharp, so they may cut you. I do use wooden ruler or plastic ruler, but I don't know where I kept mine. After I used it to measure a knit swatch, I don't know where I kept it. Might be in one of those my knitting machines. So I don't know where I kept mine. Plastic one, so I have to use this to demonstrate. Trying to be careful so that I don't hurt myself. So we finished with the loop. The next step, we're going to turn our work. You don't need to make so I'm going to put the crochet hook into 5 loops. And then with the yarn, wind the yarn around the hook of the crochet hook and pull. Then I'll just make a chain so that I secure my crochet hook. Loop still in the ruler. We're going to start and make 5 double crochet into. You can now bring it out and do the remaining double crochet. So I'm going to so 5 double crochet, yarn around the hook, put it under the front of the first 5 loops, wind the yarn around the hook again and pull. Then you make the double crochet. You can bring it out, but be careful of the loops in the other loops because they might pull out. So some people prefer working the 5 loops first before they bring it out. Just going to 2, 5. So we have that, and we'll continue. Another thing about doing it in the ruler is that it gives you the direction to go so that your work is not twisted. Because if you don't follow the same direction, your work will be twisted. So here we have our work. That is the ruler lace. What I love doing again is making another double crochet stitch on top. It helps to create an edge in case there's a little unraveling, my loops are still secured. So with that, we turn our work. Just going to pull a lot of yarn out. We turn our work, 1 turning chain, and then 1 DC into each double crochet across or shell across. Now it's supposed to be so 1 DC into each double crochet shell across. So this one. And you can have it vertically or horizontally, but for our knitwear our design is going to be vertically. And if you think you're missing your stitches, one tip I do is just check and make sure, okay, 5, this other one 5, this other one 5, and the last one we have 5. So here's our ruler lace. Let's go now to our knitwear where we have to start knitting. In total length, the size of our skirt is 30 inches. That means we have 22 inches for the skirt for the length without the band, and 8 inches for the band. And the width is 27.2 inches without the band, and for the band on is just 28 inches. To make our skirt, we'll need for the bodies of the skirt, the body of the skirt, we'll need 103 stitches. We need to cast on 103 stitches. Then we need to knit it in 22 rows, or until the desired length is achieved. Then for the band, we'll need 75 stitches. You have to pick 75 stitches after you finish, and then you need to crochet 8 rows of it. To overlay the gather skirt, we are using a tie and dye fabric in silk. You can use any one in cotton. You can use any fabric, any lining fabric you want. I'm using tie and dye fabric in silk, and it goes well with it. So let me place it so that you see, to be as if it's a part of it. It's not a kind of different, so you see it's okay. We'll make it into a skirt and we just slip the skirt in. If you want to attach both together, it's optional. It's up to you. So we have to make a. So here I've already made the skirt. This is the front. Any side can be the front and any side can be the back because they are both the same. So I'm just going to. Okay, we have some ridge here which you can decide the inner or the outer. Do you want all this ridge outside, or you can see the ridge? Do you want it outside, or do you want the smooth side outside? So you can decide that. So I want the ridge inside. So just pin the edge. Just going to pin the edges together. And if you notice, we've also done the top of the band, and the band is very large. We just picked stitches, and made 12 rows because we want a very big band, so that I can put a very big belt over it and look cheap. So here we have it. This time we need our pins to pin it. So we'll pin one side I'll just pin both sides out because when I'm on the sewing machine, I just want to do both of them. So we'll pin one side from top to down. Make sure the edges. So some people may prefer to do use the tapestry needle and yarn to darn it, to stitch the sides. That's to stitch it to get a nice seam. You can use sewing machine, you can use that too. The reason why some people prefer that, because it's a crochet stitch and it's a bit lacy, and I want to really go into the knitted yarn instead of they want to go into the stitch instead of having holes on it or so. So it all depends on the designer. So I'll just leave it so where I'll just open it a little so that you see that it's going to be pinned. So this is our seam. You see we see us building it here. That's one side. So for the other side, we need a zipper or zip. You can use invisible zipper if you want to, or zip. All you just need to do is place it and let it just cover it a little. I don't want this, if you want the zipper to show, it's optional, you can make it show. You are the designer. But if you don't want the zipper to show, just bring the hem of the crochet stitches to have a nice hem, or you can just do some fine nice edging for it. So you just okay, so just I'll put it a little bit over and then we'll pin. I'll just bend the end of the zipper, these rough edges. I'll just bend it in, and then we'll pin one to this. And you pin the other. So when we get to the end of the zipper, I'm going to bring the other side. Since this other side is just to pin, I'll just remove this pin first. I want on to do the zipper ends first. I'll bring this other side, and you can do same, just fold it in. Just going to open to the other side so that you see properly, and I'm just going to pin it. I don't want to open the zipper yet, or the zip yet. That's because I want to see it closed before I pin, so that if there's any, I'll notice, okay, it's going to seam it properly, it's going to join properly. I'll make sure the edges of the gather skirt matches, like where the gather starts from. I'll make sure they match perfectly. So this is where they match. I'll make sure that each one, so I'm just going to put another pin here. And because I'm not going to use the zipper foot to sew this, because you can use the zipper foot if you want to. Yeah, I think I can use the zipper foot. I've pinned it over there this way. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one quickly so that I'll finish it off. And this is where the gather starts. The gather starts. So I'm just going to pin that one in and make sure it lines properly with this other side where the gather starts, because I don't want uneven edges. So this is where the gather starts. So here, this is where the gather starts here. So you can see that I didn't pin it properly, and here we have a little bit of fall. So I'm going to make sure I do that. They should be equal. So another way of doing that is to make sure I'll just put a pin over to where the gather starts and pin that down. Then we can pin, we know the bottom. So I'll just look for the last parts here and make sure the design is lined properly. So I now know that the design is lined properly here. So I'll pin this one in. And I'll pin this one in. So that place where the gather starts, I'm going to pin that too. I just want to hold this, have a little bit of something to hold here. Okay, so now we have it. Because I've lined it, you can see that it's not buckling up anymore. Lined it. So here we have this one here. I'm going to pin it and I'll open it a bit so that you see. And now we have the other one here, and you will notice that okay, now they line up properly. So I'm going to put the other pin here. Okay, then I'll put this one here so that this one stops shifting and creating a buckle. Okay, so we've pinned that side, and I'm going to pin this other side like how I did the double side, the other seam. And so let me just before I go to the sewing machine to sew, I just want to show you, because by the time you see it, it's a complete skirt. So I'm just going to open it up, yarn in the, okay, so when I open it up, you see, okay, so here we have it. And when we zip it, and that's our skirt. So when you see it next, it will be completed, and you see it on me or a mannequin. Just going to zoom out so that you see, and you can see the 9 stitches. In case I didn't show it properly before, I'm just going to show it again. So this is the lacy one. We've done this on a kaftan before, so we decided to use it on a skirt to just show how it is, how interesting it can look too on a skirt. So take it closer. You can see the coils by the, coils made by the ruler. So double crochet, ruler lacy design, double crochet, rows, and ruler lacy design. So let's go to the sewing machine and complete our skirts. So here we have the skirt. For the hem, I finished on the hem side. That is how I finished, because this was supposed to be the beginning side, but the stitch there was kind of tight. If you have done crochet, you will understand, you know that I did my casting off this way because it's kind of loose, and my casting on was on the side. So I flipped the the garment and decided that I needed a nice edge. I don't want the cast on edge to be the hem. I want the cast on edge. I'll crochet over the cast on edge so that I can make the band, and so that's what I did here. Okay, what the band, the stitches for the bodies of the skirt is twice the size of the band. So because of that, because we need the bands to fit, we have the band is half the size, the numbers of stitches for the garment. So we had to make sure we did I'm just going to bring it closer. I'm trying to place it as well as tuck, so it's okay. We did we made one stitch into a double crochet, we missed one at the bottom, we did the other one here. So that's why the up is like, the first part for the up is like a mesh stitch. It's not a mesh, it's just that we just knit crocheted one into the previous row, missed one, double crochet, and we did the next stitch into the previous into the next one after missing one, double crochet. so that it gives us that effect. I'll put a pattern because this video is kind of short, so I'll put a pattern, a coordinating pattern. The pattern will be on the blog, and the link to download the pattern, I'll do it later on. The link to download the pattern is going to be on in the description area of the video. So I've already finished the gathered skirt, and here we have it. So the numbers of stitches you need will be the numbers of stitches, it will be in the pattern, and you can decide the length you want it to be. Remember, this design, you can turn it horizontally or vertically if you desire to use it like so. It all depends. If you want the skirt to be the lace to be vertical, you can make your lace vertical and it's going to be like so, but you will have to knit it horizontally. You knit it horizontally, but then you can turn it to you can now make the band on the side, and you have a nice vertical stripe, because not everyone loves horizontal stripes, especially if the pattern is a plus or it's not. It makes them look too hefty. Oh, I don't know the right word to use there, but it's not nice for those people that are that have a lot of weight. So vertical stripes makes them slim down. So if you're going to make it for, you use vertical stripe. And I have a part, I've already demonstrated that, and with the swatch I included the demonstration on how to crochet the swatch of this design. I put a previous video where I did this same design, but the sequence was different. But you have to, you can have, but it was on, we use it for vertical design. It was a kaftan. So I'll still put that link there in case, so that you don't start searching all over the place for it. So I'll put the link there. I'll state it: kaftan, ruler lace or broomstick lace. Yeah. And thanks to the person that reminded me that they can, it's also called broomstick lace. So for the lace, as I did, this is a silk tie and dye, and I used it for the lining inside. You can see that I've added I just made a little gathered skirt just to slip on that. So if you're making to sell, you can now make something like this. It's silk. So you just you can put it under so that it has a lining, a nice lining under, and someone can wear it, and you can have you can have nice knitwear to sew. So if you're making something lacy for skirt and also consider that. Not only for skirts, even tops, you consider that. You can just get a lining, small slip pattern, so that you can make a slip on it. But if you don't want to, you can buy slip on their own, any lingerie to put a long slip gown to wear with it. So that's all for now. The next I'll be modeling it, and you will see it on me. One more thing before I go: if you want to put elastic, you can fold the band, you can fold it in and insert elastic in it. Okay, you can just fold it, and then you can, let me go closer. Okay, you can fold it, the band, and you can stitch it and insert elastic in it so that it fits. Because if maybe you say it will lose this shape before time. Also, if you don't want to put elastic, you don't want to fold, you just want to make it easy, then make ties. Just crochet long ties. I did one in is it a mesh video? I think I did that in the mesh video. the double crochet and mesh stitch kaftan. I think that was a pink and gray color stripe kaftan. So what you can do there is just insert the tie through it and use it as a drawstring. So the person draws it whenever and it comes into shape. If you don't want to put elastic, maybe you feel that's good, you can make that. And the tie is just, person can just knot it to any side they desire, and you have a nice knitwear. So thank you for joining me today for this video. I've already finished the skirt, and you can see the zip. I've inserted the zip, stitched properly, and we have our seam. So I've stitched the seams in the side seams to join the front and the back together. If you don't want to join the front and the back together, you can knit all together. You can just knit one large one, but that will need you to knit. You can just knit one large one. Thank you for joining me today for this video to crochet a ruler lace or broomstick lace gathered skirt. Until next time, happy crocheting, and remember, you are the designer. So let's go make some crochet knitwear for our crochet inventory. Thank you, and bye for now.